For most of modern history, governments were the undisputed centers of power. They created the laws, controlled the borders, and dictated the future of nations. But over the last 3 decades, something unprecedented happened. Power quietly migrated from Capitol buildings to corporate campuses, from elected officials to unelected engineers, and from political institutions to digital platforms. This shift didn't happen through violence or revolution. It happened through convenience. Every time people chose Google over a library, Amazon over a local store, Facebook over community gatherings, or Apple Pay over cash, a tiny piece of societal control moved from government systems to private technology giants. Bit by bit, the tools designed to make life easier became the structures that now shape life itself. Tech companies didn't need armies. They needed users. Because in the digital world, population equals power. Today, a handful of companies decide what information billions see, how communication flows, and what opinions trend. They can silence voices, amplify movements, and influence elections without ever passing a law. They operate above borders yet affect every nation. They serve billions, yet answer to no democratic institution. This is the invisible takeover, a world where government power is visible but limited, while tech power is invisible but absolute. When a politician speaks, 1 million people hear it. When an algorithm adjusts, 1 billion people feel it. And the most unsettling part? We didn't resist this takeover. We welcomed it. We clicked agree. We installed the apps. We built the empire with our attention, our data, and our dependence. The rulers of the future are not presidents or prime ministers. They're CEOs, coders, data scientists, and algorithms, shaping reality from behind screens we cannot see. In the industrial age, the world ran on oil. Whoever controlled it controlled nations, economies, and the direction of global power. But in the digital age, oil has been replaced by something far more valuable and far more personal: data. Every scroll, pause, like, purchase, search, or message becomes a tiny drop of digital oil. At first, people treated this data as harmless. It's just my browsing history, they thought. It doesn't matter. But tech companies saw something different. They saw a resource that could predict human behavior, shape decisions, and guide entire societies. Tech giants realized something revolutionary. If you could understand people better than they understand themselves, you could control markets, politics, and even beliefs. So they built systems to capture everything. Your location isn't just where you are. It's where you shop, who you visit, and what patterns your routine reveals. Your searches aren't random. They expose your fears, hopes, illnesses, relationships, and desires. Your social media activity isn't entertainment. It's a psychological fingerprint, mapped, stored, analyzed, and sold. And unlike oil, data never runs out. The supply grows every second, with every heartbeat of the digital world. This is why tech became powerful faster than any empire in history. Empires conquered land. Tech conquered behavior. Governments write laws about privacy. Tech platforms write algorithms that predict your next move. And once a company knows what you'll click before you click it, what you'll buy before you want it, and what you believe before you believe it, power is no longer in the hands of elected leaders. It sits quietly in server farms and machine learning models. Data is the new oil, and you are the oil field. In every era, power eventually concentrates into the hands of a few. Centuries ago, it was kings. Later, it was industrial tycoons. Today, it's something entirely new: the algorithmic elite, tech CEOs who control digital empires larger than most countries. These leaders don't rule with armies, borders, or flags. They rule with code. With a single policy update, a platform can erase a business, silence a movement, or reshape cultural norms overnight. With one algorithm tweak, they can decide what billions of people see, believe, buy, or care about. No president or prime minister in history has ever held that level of instantaneous influence. And what makes these tech rulers so powerful is that their authority isn't voted on. You don't elect them. You don't replace them. You simply use their platform, and that act alone feeds their empire. Think about it. Google decides what knowledge is accessible. Amazon decides which businesses survive. Apple decides what apps enter the ecosystem. Meta decides which voices reach the world. Their decisions are opaque. Their accountability is minimal. Their reach is global. Most Americans assume their lives are shaped by Washington. But increasingly, their daily reality, what they read, where they shop, who they interact with, and how they think, is shaped by a handful of companies in Silicon Valley and Seattle. And here's the most important part. Algorithms don't need human intention to create control. They only need data. That means the system evolves on its own, optimizing for engagement, profit, and dominance, not democracy, stability, or truth. The kings of old ruled by inheritance. The kings of today rule by information. And the throne they sit on isn't made of gold. It's built from your attention. For most of history, empires expanded by conquering land. They sent armies, raised flags, and redrew borders. But the Silicon Empire operates differently. It doesn't conquer geography, it conquers infrastructure. Today, the most powerful tech companies quietly control the digital foundations of modern nations, turning entire countries into dependents without firing a single shot. Consider what happens when a nation relies on a foreign company for cloud storage, communication systems, mapping data, financial technology, or cybersecurity. The moment that infrastructure becomes essential, sovereignty becomes optional. If a government can't run without Amazon Web Services, or if its communication grid depends on Google or Meta, then who truly holds the power? The elected officials or the platform owners? This is the new colonization. No armies, no invasions, no treaties, just data dependency. In Africa, India, Southeast Asia, and even parts of Europe, tech giants have inserted themselves into national planning, health systems, education, transportation, and even elections. Not through coercion, but convenience. Not through occupation, but optimization. Once a country becomes digitally integrated with these companies, pulling away becomes almost impossible. Imagine trying to run a government without cloud servers, databases, cybersecurity tools, app ecosystems, or payment gateways. The cost of leaving the tech empire becomes higher than the cost of staying loyal to it. And here's the hidden twist. Tech companies now influence global policy more effectively than many governments. They negotiate with presidents like equals. Some countries bend laws just to keep these corporations inside their borders. Others fear the economic collapse that might occur if they ever leave. This isn't business competition. This is quiet domination. A world where governments don't fall to enemies. They fall to outages, algorithm changes, and terms of service. The most important shift of the 21st century isn't political or military, it's structural. Humanity is slowly entering a world where algorithms make more decisions than governments, and where code, not constitutions, defines the rules people must live by. Think about how much of your daily life is now automated. Your feeds, your recommendations, your payments, your navigation, your news, your job applications, all filtered through systems you never see and rules you never agreed to. Now imagine this not as a personal inconvenience, but as a global structure. A world where the institutions that run countries, courts, banks, supply chains, infrastructure, depend on algorithms to function. This is the future empire forming right now. Governments already outsource decision-making to AI, policing, border control, welfare approvals, medical diagnostics, debt scoring, and even military analysis. As these systems scale, the question shifts from how should a society work to what is the system optimized for? Because algorithms don't care about liberty. They don't care about fairness. They care about efficiency. And efficiency is the most dangerous political ideology ever created. In this coming world, power will belong to those who write the code, own the data, or run the compute, not those who win elections. Nations will compete not on land or GDP, but on processing power, data access, and algorithmic influence. The next Cold War won't be fought with nukes. It will be fought with neural networks. The next superpower won't be a country. It will be a platform. And the next rulers won't sit in parliament. They'll sit in engineering teams. The Silicon Empire isn't rising. It's already here, and the deep question now is, will humanity control the algorithms, or will the algorithms quietly control humanity?